Welcome back to Rodey Bros, everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I improved my AR shot. It is the most important weapon in the game in my opinion. I use it all the time and you can absolutely wreck squads and solos, whatever the case may be with this weapon, and I really just want to share my tips because I often see people making very easy mistakes that they can avoid. So let's hop into this guide. I want to start off by talking about the three different types of ARs. You have your regular AR, your burst AR, and then also you have the scoped AR. And also I do kind of give a fourth class to the SCAR. It is just so strong, it doesn't really belong with the regular ARs. It's just so superior in all senses. So really we're going to start off by talking about the regular AR. It's very common to find this, and honestly it's not one of my most favorite ones to use anymore because its accuracy has decreased. They did nerf it a bit because you used to be able to absolutely beam with this weapon. And then there's the burst AR, which has really fallen into favor with a lot of big YouTubers. The biggest of course is Ninja. He absolutely loves the burst AR and will use it over the SCAR oftentimes. I don't really agree with that. My favorite is always going to be the SCAR. This thing just sounds great and it absolutely murks other teams. And then the scoped AR is very beneficial for certain situations. I really don't use it that often because if I find a sniper, I'm going to choose that long range weapon over the scoped AR, but really that comes down to personal preference. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses and you need to start playing to your strengths. So I know some people say, you know, I'm just too inaccurate to use the burst. That's fine. Do not use it then. Throw it out. Always try to pick up a regular AR. And then some people don't like the scope because you do. If you're not hitting the head, you're not doing that much damage. You're really just chipping away at them. And other people don't like that. And also, it's not viable at all in close range situations if that's all you really have. So that's why you got to start figuring out what type of game do I play. Do I find myself getting in more close range gunfights, or do I find myself getting in more long range gunfights? And then really pick your inventory and your ARs from there. When it comes to how I choose my ARs, I run a very simple system when it comes to the burst, regular, or the SCAR. I always just pick the one that has the best rarity. So if I get a blue burst, I'm not going to take a green regular AR just because I feel more comfortable with the green regular AR. I'm going to take the burst because the blue burst does more damage and can be absolutely lethal if you use it right. I always just want to get the most damage for each bullet I am dealing, and that's how I base my AR decisions. Now that may not be right for you. If you are starting out and you struggle with one or the other, then I definitely wouldn't go with that policy. And then of course, like I said, I always pick up the scoped AR if I don't already have a long range weapon like a sniper. But right when I get a sniper, I immediately drop the scoped AR just because I like dealing more damage with the snipe whenever I drill a headshot. The moral of the inventory story is that you need to use whatever you are strongest with. Unless you are comfortable with everything, then always just try to pick up the highest damage that you can, so the best rarity, and that will end up treating you very well at the end of the game. When it comes to where I keep my AR in the inventory, I always keep it in the first slot because it's my favorite weapon. I throw the shotgun in the second slot, so then if I do get into a shotgun battle and maybe I run out of ammo, maybe I'm fighting that many people, I can instantly switch to the AR and deal enough damage to get the job done. And then also I love having that sniper in the fifth slot, so then you can switch from the snipe to the AR if you need to polish someone off. This is a good practice and it's going to allow you to deal a lot more damage very quickly. Now the simplest mistake I see people make when they use the AR is they don't know when to hold down the trigger and when to tap the trigger. So I'm going to talk about the different situations here. The first one being, if someone is building walls, of course you should just hold down the trigger, get as many bullets off as you can to tear down those walls. It is great to continue to apply pressure, and it really depends on how much ammo you have. But then when it comes to shooting people and trying to be precise, you need to tap the trigger, and you will see it throughout this video. You never see me spamming, and I will show examples where I hold down the trigger just trying to do one more bullet, and it seems like it is painting a circle around the guy I am trying to hit. It just does not work. You need to not spam. You need to just tap the trigger at a good clip, and you will start being way more accurate. I had to talk about not spamming on the trigger, not just holding it down first, because one of the biggest things you can do to make shots easier on yourself is crouching whenever you go into gunfights. It is so much easier because it makes your cursor smaller, so then your area that you are spraying these bullets is much tinier. Then if you add in tapping on the trigger and crouching, it's just going to be a great combination of the bullets actually hitting where you expect them to go rather than them flying all around and not hitting anything. I know it's so frustrating when you feel like your AR should be hitting somebody and it's not. Well, you have to apply these tips if you really want to start making contact consistently, and that's when you're going to find you are melting people much quicker and hitting a lot more headshots. One thing I almost forgot to mention is please, when you are crouching, make sure it's in the right situations. If you are following people and you want to knock someone very quickly, then it is great because they aren't looking at you. Crouch, let the cursor get small, and then drill shots. You can immediately knock someone on a team or eliminate someone right away without them even being able to turn around. I really don't want you crouching and standing still whenever 3 or 4 people are shooting at you and you're not moving. So you are a sitting duck and they are going to drill you. That is why it is so important to build, get higher on structures, and then it helps with the crouch because you can immediately dip back behind something. You really need to use height to your advantage. It's much easier to shoot down at people, and also you can use it to your advantage of staying on the right side so less of your body is peeking out. I think this is going to be just very helpful for you guys if you understand which situations to crouch and which ones you actually may need to stand so you can get out of harm's way. Another really beneficial AR tip is to not always stay zoomed in. I see so many people make the mistake of trying to follow someone while they are running away or zigzagging. If you scope out and back in and you are on console, you are going to have the benefit of auto aim, and you need to take advantage of that. Don't just sit zoomed down sights. You are not going to help yourself, and you may never catch up to the person running away. If you zoom out and back in, auto aim's going to pick them up, and you're going to find yourself hitting a lot more bullets. So I really recommend you start practicing that. It is great to get under your belt and start using more often. A tip that goes along with taking advantage of auto aim is also practice shooting before you even get scoped in. So what I'm talking about is if you are running towards the zone, you expect your next fight to be mid to long range and someone jumps out of a bush or a building and stuns you and they are right on top of you and you don't have time to switch to a shotgun, so you try to shoot with your AR. If you can hit one of those first few shots with the no scope before you even zoom in and take advantage of auto aim, that could end up being the difference between you winning the fight or being knocked out of the game. So that's what I really recommend, guys. If you can do damage where you just are not scoped in and you're able to make contact, or if someone surprises you and you just need to hit them with one more bullet, maybe you run out of shotgun shells, this is really going to help you in the long term, and I really recommend you practice this. I wasn't going to mention this, but I want to make sure that you all understand that you should always be trying to drill headshots unless someone is one shot and you know all it takes is just to pepper them with one bullet and they will be done. But headshots are absolutely key in winning more gunfights. You are going to melt an enemy so fast, especially if you have a legendary scar. It's going to do 72 damage per bullet, and it's just going to take away someone with full shield in seconds if you can hit multiple headshots. So I always recommend that. That's what I aim for in every fight, is I tap and I try to drill them in the head. And also, if you want to be safe, just aim a bit lower and aim for the chest area, but you're going to be surprised how quickly you are slicing through people. That wraps up my AR guide. If I left anything out, please leave it in the comments below, and also comment what guide you would like to see next. I absolutely love doing these and appreciate all your suggestions. Thank you very much to everyone that has been sharing videos, and if you aren't already, please subscribe. We appreciate you all helping us grow the community, and we couldn't have gotten to 46,000 subscribers without you all. We just wanted to let you know we appreciate you. This has been Josh from Rodey Bros, and I will see you all in the next video.